We just witnessed the beginning of the end for the rest of the NBA as Victor Wembanyama's performance goes so much further, somehow further than what just the highlights show, as we have some things revealed after the game about what Wemby was doing after the game and what he had to say about his future with this team, as the league has been put on notice that Victor MF Wembanyama is here to stay, but it goes further than Wemby. There's some talk from head coach Mitch Johnson and even some other performances that just show the grand vision of the San Antonio Spurs is something that will not be messed with. And before we dive into these very interesting tidbits on Victor Wembanyama that I promise you're not going to want to miss, I want to start with Mitch Johnson. And there was a clip going around of him in the huddle in practice. And you tell me who this sounds like to you. Be disciplined, to like and embrace the boring, the mundane. Stop, rebound, fundamental, discipline, physical, rebound, transition, pace, fundamental, again and again. If that doesn't sound like Pop, I don't know what does. Of course, Gregg Popovich still infiltrating the organization in every aspect. His legacy still lives on, even though he's moved on from the head coaching spot into a more front office role. He's still spotted around practices and stuff. But to watch this in the game, to see that Spurs culture continue to manifest itself throughout the entire coaching staff. Mitch Johnson, hey, Sean Sweeney sure looked like he made a big impact yesterday. The Spurs defense was pretty good for large stretches of that game. Right now, though, this is the start of where you see the beginning of the end. This is the start of the Victor Wembanyama era. It's the end of the era for so many other people. Is it an overreaction after one game? I don't know. You tell me. I don't think so. Because again, like I said, it goes further than Wemby. It goes into the coaching. It goes into the role players, the support guys as well. And Stephon Castle's not even a guy I'm going to talk about in this video, but his performance as well very much exhibited what Mitch Johnson is saying. But Dylan Harper is another guy who showed up, and he had some very interesting things that he revealed about Wemby. Oh gosh, anyway, I got so much to get into, but even Dylan Harper coming out with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 for 14 from the field. You could argue he outplayed Cooper Flagg. Now, Flagg did have a double-double with some very good defense. His shot was not falling at all, though. I think 4 for 13 from the field. However, it's Dylan Harper's world right now, and he made a big statement. Now, there were some great rookie games yesterday. VJ Edgecombe, of course, of the Sixers, but this is what I'm saying, right? Like, Dylan Harper had this kind of game. Stephon Castle had 22, 7, and 6. Victor Wembanyama is doing some insane things, and we don't even have De'Aaron Fox. We don't have Kelly Olynyk. We don't have Jeremy Sochan. We have so many guys that are not even on the team yet, and the Spurs had this massive win. And to go to Victor Wembanyama, there's a few things I just gotta show, right? Every single account out there, like, every single person I've seen talk about this man right here. By the way, you want this sweater? Because I'm wearing this every day. Link in the description. Die Hard Addicts, 10% off. If you use code Digest, you can grab some Dylan Harper, Manu, any Spurs merch you want. They got a ton of stuff. But to get back into this, every Twitter account, every person that I'm seeing talk about the Spurs is like, what am I watching? How am I witnessing Victor Wembanyama doing stuff like this? This doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make physical sense that he's able to do this. And that's why you see the league is really in trouble. 40, 15, and 3. We know the numbers. The league is really in trouble. What are we witnessing? Victor, God knows I worked effing hard this summer. He said it on live TV. He doesn't care. Just like Shaq back in the day. Wemby knows how hard he worked. And people are just saying, like, oh my goodness, like, what are we seeing here? Vous ne verrez rien de plus hallucinant sur Twitter aujourd'hui. You won't see anything almost like crazier. He says hallucinant, like hallucinatory. Not really, but anyway, the translation's more like you won't see anything more wild than this on your feed, and it's absolutely true. Like, every single outlet talking about the impact of Victor Wembanyama. Shaq's the greatest highlight tape I ever seen, and it's game 1. And what Wemby has had to say just even shines a whole new light on this. He said he worked hard. We knew he worked hard. Quote, I saw what it's like to be confronted with potentially losing a lot. I'm not taking this for granted anymore. And you saw, he got anything he wanted. He was sunning Anthony Davis, a guy who is straight up one of the greatest big man defenders of all time. A consistent all-NBA, all-defensive player, depoy level guy. Victor Wembanyama made him look foolish. And there were some, I don't want to say worries, but some questions going into the game. Derek Lively has historically been a bit of a thorn in Victor's side, and Davis is great, and we got both of them, and it didn't matter. Wemby just went over him. There's so many more clips that I'm not even showing with this footwork, these floaters, these and one pump fake jumpers. Insanity from Victor Wembanyama. And he's, like he said, he's not taking it for granted. He wants to win. He wants to win now. The Spurs had a convincing win. And that's why I'm saying, like, he can just control this. Like, just imagine this team, but also with an all-NBA level point guard in De'Aaron Fox. Castle was awesome. Harper was awesome. And we still have a guy that's better than both of them. Yes, I still think Fox is better than Castle and Harper. I hope that's not a hot take. But Victor Wembanyama doing some insane stuff. And you even see the official NBA account. It's literally history. The first player with 40, 15, and 0 turnovers while shooting 70% from the field since turnovers have been tracked. There's a few guys who have done 40 and 15, but this is absolutely crazy, right? Like, while shooting 70% from the field is the most crazy thing. I think some 40 and 15 0 turnover games. Moses did it a few times. Shaq did it. And then Wemby, right? But the other thing here, the thing that makes this even more like, oh my God, it's over. Like, it's over for the rest of the league. Dylan Harper told us on 1200 WAI Spurs postgame that Victor was in the locker room still lifting weights after this performance. He went out there. He did this. He said, you know what? I worked hard this summer. Victor came out and said, you know, I worked really effing hard this summer. I saw what it was like to be confronted with losing. I dropped 40 and 15, and I went into the locker room to lift weights. Talk about leading by example. That Spurs culture he is reinstilling in the youth of the San Antonio Spurs. What he is doing is setting up the San Antonio Spurs for like a dynasty, really. I mean, again, part of me thinks what I'm saying, it's too early, right? You never know how this is going to age, but I think it's pretty clear that every single person who is watching what's happening here, watching how Victor approaches the game, how he approaches his training, how much of a leap he took in the summer that he was on blood thinners, is just something that, like, all the signs are there for something ridiculous. But this is the thing. Here's why I say it's the beginning of the end. It's also the beginning, says Victor. There's so much more I want to add to my game. There's already people calling for Hakeem Olajuwon to be tried for creating a weapon of mass destruction. And you know what? I'm going to be on Hakeem's side here. I think he should be innocent of all charges, and I think you guys would agree too. The fact that Wemby has done all of this and says there's more he wants to add, again, just goes to prove how much he cares. How many superstars in the league have that drive, that work ethic to do what Wemby is doing? He has seemingly no distractions off the court. He studies to be a Shaolin monk. He goes out there, he works with Kevin Garnett, speaks to him at that, cross-country track or whatever, and they're at that field, and they're chatting about defense, about mentality. He goes to work on his footwork with Hakeem Olajuwon. The next thing he's going to do is probably revolutionize the skyhook, because who's going to block him? No one could block Kareem, and he was just over 7 feet tall. Wemby, by the looks of it in these games, he's like 7'11". He might not even be 7'5". He might be almost 8 feet tall. Exaggeration, but no one's going to stop a skyhook. That could be the next move. I don't know. If he does that, league's broken. League's broken already, because what we're seeing is beyond anyone's belief, and I truly believe this is the beginning of the end for the NBA. And you're about to see Wembanyama's face even more than you already are. You know, the faces of the league. You got Jokic, you got Shea, you got Luka, of course. But Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards, too, is a great one. There's so many guys. Steph Curry, obviously. Braun's still there. But Victor Wembanyama is doing stuff that you have never seen before. And there's no indication it's going to stop anytime soon. We are witnessing something special. And we have to... Don't take it for granted. Just like Wemby said, don't take it for granted. Just like he took the ability to win for granted. Don't take for granted what you're watching right now. Because every single Victor Wembanyama game that we get to see in our lives is going to be special. This guy is going to be something, it's already something we've never seen on the basketball court. I saw someone say, look, even like LeBron and Jokic, when we see them at their peak, it's like, wow, that is like the highest of high level of basketball player. Victor Wembanyama looks like the highest high level of something that, not even the highest high level, it's like something you can't even comprehend that exists on the basketball court. Anyway, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in saying that he is going to be the greatest of all time or anything, but you can see the potential. That's all I'm saying. The NBA is not ready for it. I think the reactions we saw from last night tell the whole story. Leave your thoughts on this down below. That'll do it for this episode of Spurs Digest. You made it 9 minutes into the video and you want to get yourself some nice Wemby merch. I'm wearing this, no joke, like every single day. And it's crazy. 100% cotton, made in Texas. We got lots of great stuff down in the link below. Die Hard Addicts, thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Josh Gosse. Whoa, I can't wait to catch y'all in the next one.